Welcome back to On the John basketball edition. We're going to look ahead to the district tournaments because if my watch tells me correctly, today's February the 1st, it's district time. So let's go On the John.
All right, guys, this week on the John, February 1st, 2022 edition, I got an assistant basketball coach from Memphis, Homeschool Education Athletics Association, MHEA. Jason Williams. Jason, thank you for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about your season so far. You are 25-6 on the season, 31 games. 2 years ago, y'all won the national championship as a homeschool program. And last year, due to COVID, I guess the tournament got canceled, right?
Well, it's flipped. 2 years ago it was canceled, and last year we won the national title.
So just talk about the season so far. As y'all played some great teams and with some victories that some teams are like, wow, this MHEA loss might help us out for a postseason run in the playoffs.
Yeah, we've had a pretty good season so far. We're on we've beat some teams that probably didn't expect us to compete with them as much. But at the same time, our guys have grown up. They're seniors. They've played varsity basketball for 8 years, and they're known. And so a lot of the guys that they've played with on the AAU circuit and against for 5 years, I mean, they know they're not a joke out there, and so we've got some good wins. We've beat FACS when they were undefeated. We beat Middleton. I think we're still Middleton's only loss of the season, and then some other teams like teams out of Mississippi, and then Briarcrest, who we've got again tonight. So we've had some good wins so far.
Yeah, you talked about the wins. You beat a Moz team that went to the state tournament last year. They won 78-64 in that one. I mean, y'all won that one, 78-64. Like you said, FACS game went down to the wire. Y'all won 58-57. Y'all beat a good team out of Mississippi in Center Hill. That was a good win for y'all as well, 75-54. Y'all played Fayette Ware in that Brighton tournament. Won that one 79-78 as well.
Well, we dropped the Fayette Ware game in double overtime. That was a week that really tested our guys. We played FACS on Friday, won in overtime. We played Elevation Prep, a prep school out of Indiana, and beat them in double overtime the next day. Then we had Sunday off, and then we played Center Hill on Monday, Middleton on Tuesday, and then Fayette Ware on Wednesday. And Fayette Ware went to double overtime. So we had 5 games in 6 days, with 5 total overtime periods, and our guys pushed through a lot, and to go 4-1 in that stretch, and obviously we feel like we should have won that Fayette Ware game, but we made some crucial mistakes down the stretch. But it's something we've learned from, and obviously our season is very long, playing on the homeschool circuit and playing our nationals in March. So everything we do is just to get ready for that.
Absolutely agree with 100% on that, because like I tell everybody in the past, the tougher the schedule you get, it gets your guys ready for the postseason in general. Yep. Talk about some of your key players this year. Everybody should know the name Mr. Morgan out there, Justin Morgan, who's signed and committed to Murray State.
Yep.
But just talk about your other players that might have stepped up throughout the year as well.
Yeah, well, obviously Justin is the one that gets all the headlines. Justin is an incredible shooter. But he's an incredible basketball player. He's an incredible leader. He's a guy that we trust on defense to handle guards on the perimeter. He's a guy that is a good distributor. He's a great rebounder for his position. But we really have a committee of guys that do everything for us. I mean, Luke Shoemaker's another senior. He's a 5th-year starter, and he's a 6'6" point guard. He's played. When I had him as an 8th grader, he started in the post for me.
Right.
And now he's just kind of grown athletically, grown with his ball handling and his passing, and now he's averaging 12, 7, and 7 as a 6'6" point guard in his first year at the position.
And he can shoot the ball pretty well,
He can shoot it pretty well. He's the one. in back-to-back days, he hit the game winner against FACS, and then the next day against Elevation Prep, he hit a 3 with under 10 seconds to go to send it to overtime. Drew Kaiser is our other senior starter, another 6'6" wing who he's had, I think, 10 games of 14-plus rebounds this year, averaging a double-double. Just a matchup nightmare when you already have Justin out there who you got to put size against, Luke out there who you got to put size against, and then you throw Drew out there. And then, another guy that's really stepped up lately, I was looking at the numbers earlier, Andrew Thomas. He's our big man, but he's 6'4", so he's really the second smallest guy on the court for us. But all the attention that they've thrown at our other 3 seniors, he's now getting kind of a lot of opportunities. I think he's averaged 14 a game the last 13 games. And so, we got 4 different guys that can really give you, 20 a night on any given night. And that doesn't even speak to the other guys on our team. Elijah Guess, who's kind of our defensive stopper right now. And then we got guys off the bench, shooters, role players, other defensive players. I'm not going to go through and name them all because I've already talked about the 3 and 4 long enough.
But I was very, like you brought up Elijah Guess. The games I've seen y'all play so far, he has stepped up in playing defense to get turnovers, steals, the cause travels, putting that full court pressure on guards, to get them to turn the ball over. Yeah. Especially down in New Albany when I saw y'all play that Madison Ridgeland team, that he held that guard in check. That everybody's been talking about. Madison Ridgeland has a guard who's a junior, like you told me, had committed to Ole Miss now, it turns out.
Did he commit?
Yeah, they commit. He's 3,000. He's some points away from 3,000.
Probably got it by now.
The way that Elijah held him though, and checking that first half by giving him forced a 3-point ball like he did in the first half. Yeah. Elijah has stepped up for y'all pretty good the last few games as well. Yeah. That whole family, the whole Guest family in general, is a big family from athletic, from Harding days to, now the homeschool days. Yep. But fans, if anybody wants to come watch MHEA play this week, just look at their schedule. They play it, like Jason said, at Briarcrest tonight. So what's the look ahead for y'all's basketball team?
We got Briarcrest tonight. We've got Germantown on Friday. We go play a homeschool game on Saturday, and then we end our season next week with a game against Collierville. So we got nothing easy. No. And then we obviously take a couple weeks off, and then we go to Dallas for our regional tournament to hopefully repeat there. And then obviously in the middle of March we go to Springfield, Missouri for our national tournament, and hope to repeat there as well.
Well, Jason, good luck to y'all the rest of the way, man.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys, welcome back to another point on the John. We're going to talk about some, maybe like Thomas brought up earlier, district tournament is a couple weeks away for a lot of teams. So we're going to preview some district tournaments possibility matchups throughout the city. And Thomas Ellers, come on back.
Whoa, John. Okay, Coach Jason, you're not going to run off so fast, my friend. Let's put him right here in the middle.
I got you.
John, we got a guy here that's seen a lot of these teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Won a national title. He knows basketball. Can't let you walk. Coach, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
This is the coach under Coach Harrington at Briarcrest at one time.
Wow. So, the guy knows basketball.
Yeah.
Got a nice resume there.
Just a little bit, right?
Yeah, just a little bit. So before we let you run off, boys basketball district tournament, we're in February, so we got maybe a week or so before the regular season's over. From all the teams you've seen, first, I just throw it out there, what's the first team you think got a good shot at being at state and bringing the gold ball back to the Memphis area?
Well, I think obviously if you talk Memphis basketball right now, you got to start with Christian Brothers. Undefeated, one of the few remaining undefeated teams in the state, and it's not their first time to do this. They've had multiple seasons now. It feels like where they've gone into state with 0 losses or 1 loss, and you just feel like they got to break through at some point. And with Chandler Jackson right now, I think you got to put them, not knowing much about the Nashville teams and Knoxville Catholic, obviously, but with Christian Brothers' resume and with just the standard at which they operate, you got to consider them one of the favorites for sure.
Okay, on the smaller private school level, FACS, I keep hearing you talk about them. Been there the last couple of years close, and took the road, all these teams getting. Did they got a good shot this year?
I think so. They got a lot of seniors. A lot of their guys have kind of grown up with some of our guys on MHEA. They've played together since they were in 7th and 8th grade, and so a lot of that chemistry that they have together, I think that's just something that is invaluable when it comes to this time of year, where you're not trying to figure out each other's roles. You're not trying to figure out where everybody's supposed to be on the court. These guys have known it for 4 or 5+ years, so I think FACS has got to be considered one of the top of the small private schools.
Okay. You brought up a good point, Jason, about Christian Brothers. They have won 40 of their last 41 basketball games up to date. Is it best? I'm not trying to say anything negative about a loss, but is it best to maybe lose it like a regular season, not on purpose, per se, but is it just best to lose the game before the state championship like they did last year? They were undefeated going into the state tournament. Is it best to maybe lose a game that you maybe aren't used to, losing, and to see how your players react?
I wouldn't really say that, because as long as your guys are in pressure situations, then if you're winning pressure situations, I don't really know what more you can ask for. I mean, just in the last week, they played us in a pressure situation. We hit a 3 to tie it with a minute left, and they came down. They didn't call timeout. Chandler had the ball at the half court, and then with 5 seconds to go, he goes left dribble, pull up, hits a shot in the closing seconds to beat us. And then I didn't catch the game on Friday, but they go to double overtime and win a game against MUS.
Right.
So, obviously, if you lose, you have to take away lessons from it. But when you're in pressure situations and you get the job done, I think it's got a very similar effect.
Thomas, I do like FACS's chances this year. Like Jason's brought up, they are senior heavy.
Yeah.
This is the same team that went undefeated at an 8th grade level, pretty much.
And yeah, they got that chemistry.
Right.
Let's jump into the public schools. Another team that you mentioned, and they gave you a tough. I think they beat you. Where? The big 6'9" kid. They're a tough matchup in 3A.
Yeah.
Do you see them going out?
I don't know who else is necessarily 3A around the city or the state right now with the new classifications.
They played with Millington, Raleigh, Craigmont, Bolton in their league. Then across from them is Mumford, Brighton, the Highway 51 teams, Ripley, and all those teams.
I think Fayetteville's easily the best team out of that group. I mean, what they offer with having Sturdivant at 6'10", and then even the other kid they have that's 6'7". I mean, they're a matchup nightmare. And then they got the shooter number 4 that lit us up when we played them out at Brighton in their championship game. So they're the real deal. I don't know who else is around the state, but they're going to be a problem for somebody.
And then you brought up another team that y'all played throughout the year in Bartlett.
Now we jumped to 4A.
Right, we jumped to 4A now. And talk about some teams out of 4A that could make some noise going to the district tournament and the region tournament now, because like you said, the new classifications this year, Bartlett don't have to worry about the Dyer County and the Hardin County and the Mumford and the Brighton. Yeah. They have to play these inner city Shelby County schools now.
Now they just got to worry about East.
Now they got to worry about East, but they did beat East in double overtime at Arlington this year.
Yeah,
I
can't speak to East and Whitehaven. I mean, obviously they're very talented. I haven't seen much of, or if any of them. We didn't have the opportunity to play them. We played Bartlett the first week of the season, and it did not go well for us. They were just able to roll out 5 starters, and then once our guys got winded, they put in 5 more guys, and it just seemed like a wave of talent and skill that they were able to throw at you. And so, obviously, I don't know how they've kind of developed throughout the season. I haven't seen them as much as I have other schools, but I mean, they've got everything you want in a team as you're going into the postseason. I'd be anxious to see, because I was in Nashville the last few years against Cane Ridge. Right. So I'm obviously interested to see if any of those 3, Bartlett, East, Whitehaven, if they match up with Cane Ridge and Brandon Miller, and how that would go.
Who has been your surprise teams in here this year?
Fairware was a surprise to me because it was a team that MHEA beat last year, and I didn't see some of the stuff that the jump that Sturdivant has taken is a big jump, and he's obviously showing why he's a Division I player. And so, they'd probably be one of my biggest surprises. I haven't seen schools like Collierville and Germantown yet. We have them in the next couple weeks, but I just know from what the results I've seen that they're a surprise to me, and I'm anxious to get to play those 2 games as well.
Yeah, I like what Coach Sabo is doing at Germantown this year. Coach Sabo has done a good job with that senior team. Yeah. Because I think Germantown's got some quality wins under their belt. Yeah. But hey, look at Cordova. What they have been doing this year so far, with a lot of their cancellations and their numbers, they're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Cordova's got some, like a sophomore guard that everybody's been talking about, the next Tyler Harris, possibly.
I've heard about him a little bit.
So, in KJ, he scored 41 the other night.
Well,
So, Cordova might be a surprise.
well, as a reporter, you know this time of year, you just have to win the right games
Yep.
Yeah.
at the right time. You know, you talk about losses, John. If you take them at the right time, you still advance. And that's
Right.
the key. Like in that 3A league, you know, Millington, the team that I primarily cover, they're starting to get back on the roll after Fairwell humbled them, 88-40, I think. It was a dunk fest. That's how good they are. But Millington might be the clear number 2 in that league. And then you just win the right games, avoid the right people.
Yeah.
You can end up making the trip to the middle of the state and playing for that gold ball. So it's all about matchups this time of year and the luck. You got to get the lucky breaks here and there.
And Milton does have a king game tonight against Bolton.
Yes, they do, and that's where I'll be heading this evening. Because they owe them one, because Bolton got their first win this year against Millington. I don't think Millington's never won at Bolton High School. It's a house of horrors for. It's that psychological thing
Yeah.
that you were kind of touching on, Coach.
Like for the district
do we
tournament.
lose one? Do we win one?
Yeah.
No, every coach I talked to, I had never met a coach that wanted to lose a game. So yeah, we asked a coach that question, you already know the answer. Deep down inside, no, I want to win every game.
Yep.
Every game on their schedule, they want to go undefeated. You know, so it's like Don Schuler's up in heaven, smiling down on a lot of other coaches right now. You did that. You know, you get that undefeated season and win your championship. No coach would ever deny that. So are we about to get ready to jump into the girls' preview and that coach?
Jason, real quick, my last question
Okay.
for
Yeah,
you, real
yeah.
quick. Who has been some players under the radar that need some more attention in the city?
Well, if it's under the radar, I'm going to start with my 2, Luke and Drew.
Yeah.
You know, 2 guys that, you know, Luke's a guy, obviously I've talked about what he's done this season, but you talk about over the course of his career, he's going to finish his career with 1,800 points. And that's playing with a guy like Justin for 5 years who's going to finish with probably about 2,700 points. Drew Kaiser, you know, another guy that we've had, he's over 1,000. He hit 1,000 in our first few games this year. Outside of our guys, you know, I really like I don't know his name, but the other kid from Fayette Ware. I really like the 2 guards from Christian Brothers, Zion and Nemo.
And Ashton's done pretty well from the football team.
Ashton just brings an element of physicality that's different. The 2 from MUS aren't under the radar, but I really like what they give teams right now, or giving them. There's so many players in the city of Memphis that just don't get the recognition they deserve, and it'd be hard to list them all.
Especially the kids on the outskirts, like, you know, I got Seth Granberry up there in Millington.
Yeah.
The guard, you know, can do it all, might be a little undersized for the next level. But as we see, you know, you look at, you can't measure that thing beating in the chest and the knowledge of the game. Seth Granberry is definitely one of those people who put up 20, 30 points easy.
Yep.
And Jason, again, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Thomas,
Yes.
girls basketball talk now.
Oh, yeah. They played a little district. They got that coming up too as well. The young ladies. I've been primarily covering 3A, thanks to Millington and Coach Jason Nichols. Got his nice crew out there now. They've been suffering some injuries. Jontavia Bonner went down with the knee. Came into the season with 4 great guards, and he still has Miss McGee. She's going to be tough. And Miss Halliburton. Those 2 seniors in the backcourt are going to be dynamic. But the key X factor is Kayla Dawson running the point. If she continues this maturation, her game has gotten better and better, running and the flow of that offense and shooting more. Millington can make some noise, but Fayette Ware is going to, they think they're the queens of that league. They're ready to punch Millington in the mouth. Beat them earlier this year. They got a rematch coming up to close out the district regular season. So that's going to be 2 competitive teams in that league.
You know, you brought up Jason Nichols. Me and you both brought up and saw him play White Station over Christmas holiday break.
Yes.
And the way they competed with it, like you said, with the injuries to the numbers to basically just competed in the first half. It started out slow in that first half game, but they kept on fighting, got a lot of turnovers in that second half, about full court pressure, stepped out of bounds calls, you name it, turnovers were the difference to help Millington get closer in that game. And I know they lost that game, but the way they reacted since that game helped them out as well for that game against Fayette Ware.
Yeah, and White Station's going to be a quality team in 4A. They got shooters, got size. It seems like their post can play the outside and the outside can play the post. And for Millington to be competitive against them and play, I say, good 2.5 quarters against them, they put 4 quarters together. They can pretty much beat any team in 3A.
Who has been up to your radar so far? Me personally, I'm much impressed with Brockers girls lately, and because they are undefeated in their league play now. They are now 4-0 in their league play. They got some good wins over there. They beat Hutchinson 63-44, and Hutchinson is a team that actually went to state last year.
Wow.
So when Brockcrest beats Hutchinson the way they did against Hutchinson, you know somebody's done pretty well. Like Clarkson is averaging 17 points per game this year, and she's also averaging 6.5 rebounds per game as well. So Brockcrest girls, I think, could make some noise as well this year.
Yeah, in private school, you're gonna see. I think you're gonna see some different teams up the top because the USJ, they're not as on the smaller private school. They're young. Trinity, they're young. Tipton Rosemar, young. Raven Sims is a stud. Got a bunch of D1 offers, but she's a junior, trying to hold a team together. So private school, I think we're gonna maybe see a couple new champions crowned on the girls' side. And then, like, go back into the public school. A coach is doing a wonderful job. Is using Steve Poindexter at Mumford. They're going to be competitive in their side of 3A. And Miss Shay Gooden, a young player coming into this season, has jumped leaps and bounds and gotten better. The development with Coach Howard and the crew working with the assistants, working with her, they got her game so much better that she's going to help Miss Cooper on the outside. So Mumford might do a little damage on the other side of 3A. Before they get to the, to the Memphis side. And then in 4A, you know, the two usual suspects got a big game coming up, Arlington and Bartlett.
This Friday night.
I think they're the prime time.
7:30.
Yeah, they're the prime time game.
Get there early.
Because everybody in the area knows they want to see these two teams in prime time go against each other. When they move a girls' game to 7:30, something special is born.
And that game will be at Bartlett, I believe. So get there early for that one. You know, you brought up Mumford. They got some key games this week. They got Haywood. And they also got Covington.
Yeah, so both the boys and the girls. Coach Nick Buford with the boys doing a wonderful job.
Great job, Coach Buford.
Yes, and got his shooters, and he got 2 young guards that he's working. You know, Jaden Lee, man, that young kid, he looks like Steph Curry on light, and he's only a freshman. So by the time he's a senior, maybe he'd be a regular Steph Curry. So he wears number 30 for a reason. The kid can play. So watch out for it.
All right, guys, welcome back.
Did we just have a glitch?
Yeah, we had a glitch.
Technology.
We thought we saw lightning, but you know.
Hey, we saw the ice come. So it is February. But you about to close us out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if anybody who actually wants to go watch some great basketball games this week, tonight, Tuesday night, or either Friday night later in the week, come support the kids. I know it only costs maybe like $5 or $7, but the kids, from Shelby County schools, private schools, public schools, they definitely need their support. Because right now, a lot of kids are either hurting for offers or because of the extra year with COVID to basically don't even have enough because of their size in general. The reason I'm bringing that up is because tomorrow is National Signing Day for a lot of high school students. So go out and support these inner Shelby County area teams and go out and support the kids. Good luck to all the players.
Softball players.
But
yeah.
I might catch some of them. I gotta reach out to some of the coaches. But definitely go out and support some of these local kids in general. Everybody have a great week. Stay safe. Wear a mask if you have to.
We'll see them soon.
And we'll see them soon in a couple weeks. And we'll do some more recaps hopefully soon before the district tournament starts and going into the district tournament. Because there's exciting basketball ahead for West Tennessee and bring some gold balls and silver balls back to Memphis.
Nothing but gold.